D-Star-related information and news, give D-Star-capable amateurs the opportunity to improve their communications, and just have fun and talk about the Ham Nation show that recorded this evening. Your net control operator for this evening will be VK5PBZ, that's Alan in Palm Bay, Australia. He's with us this evening. K8JTK, which is Jeff, he's in Westlake, Ohio, which is just outside Cleveland. And myself, KB9VZU, here in Newcastle, Indiana. Beautiful metropolis, Newcastle, Indiana. I've taken a few early check-ins, and let's see, I've got, the first one I'll go to is KE0AYJ. I have W7AOR. We'll call him a special check-in with us this evening. AA0RX. I have N6CZE and K9MIT. So we'll turn the reflector over to Andy there, KE0AYJ. How are you doing this evening? Any comments you have about the show or anything you want to talk about? Go ahead, 14 Charlie Short.
Good evening to that, KE0AYJ. Well, I promised myself I'm not going to say a thing about the weather. End of the story on that one. Because it's not going to change for 3 or 4 days, and we all know it up in this area. I assume Newcastle's doing the same thing. Anyway, like I say, good evening to everybody. Like I said, still watching the show. ICOM's on there now, and getting ready for Hamvention. Slowly getting the camper together. Actually, I'm further ahead on the curve than I thought I'd be, so I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me in. Thanks for the early check-in, Chip. I hope you get straightened up there in Kokomo. Talk to you everybody later. Have a good evening. KE0AYJ.
All right, Andy, thanks for taking time out of your evening to come check in with us and check out the Ham Nation show that was on this evening. We'll look forward to talking with you. I won't you so at the Hamvention. I just got my tickets in the mail today, or ticket in the mail today. Tried to talk to the XYL in the morning, and she said no way. So there you go. But we'll look for you over there in Dayton. All right, let's go up to excuse me, lost my breath. Let's go up to Ace W7AOR in Las Vegas. How are you doing this evening? And we're not supposed to talk about the weather, so anything else is good to go here on 14 Charlie. Go ahead. A7AOR. You're still out there. Try it one more time. I've got his call sign wrong. W7AOR. W7AOR. My apologies. All right, we've got his call sign in the logbook anyway. He was in there a little bit earlier. How about AA0RX? AA0RX. Are you still out there? Any comments you have about the show or anything you want to talk about? 14 Charlie Short.
AA0RX returning, and thanks for the invite. D-Star. Lots of cool stuff happening in D-Star. Bob, Scott, W6KD, the D-Star Commander image. I just made myself a Raspberry Pi Zero-W, and I've got it hooked up to a 21,000 milliamp hour battery, and it's up there. I'm going to do a test and see. I'm just going to let that battery run all the way flat, see how long it takes it. But I'm running a Pi Zero-W into a DVAP, and using that for D-Star right now. So extremely low QRP, and you talk about portable, it's about like as big as 2 sticks of gum. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for that. Enjoy. AA0RX.
It's got a fine signal here for you, too, especially with that Kenwood radio you're running there. I don't know, I'd like to see a shot of that one. If you can take a picture and send it over to Jeff, I'd like to see a picture of that set up. Check out our website there, hamnationdStar.net. hamnationdStar.net. I'm sure Jeff would be happy to take a look at that, too. That sounds like an interesting little outfit you got going there. But thanks for taking time out of your evening and checking in with us. We appreciate it. Let's go out to the West Coast there. N6, CZE. He was an early check-in. See if he's still in there with us. What's going on out there in California?
Well, a very good evening to you, sir, to everyone on the net. N6CZE here in Montclair. It's 85 degrees, and I understand we're going to get some rain this weekend. Probably not too much, but maybe on Saturday, late Saturday or Sunday, possibly Monday, but we'll take it. We could use some of that. We've had quite a few fires out here in the last week, so a little bit of rain certainly isn't a bad thing. we're watching the TV right now, Ham Nation, and they've got the oscilloscope on there checking the power supply, and that's a neat thing. That we can watch a lot of this stuff on here, and I never really thought about breadboarding this stuff out. It's so easy to purchase stuff anymore, but it's neat to be able to see some of this, and kind of gets you back into the mode of building stuff we haven't done for a long time. We fiddle around with the Raspberry Pi stuff, and that's a lot of fun. So anyway, we'll let you pick up a few more. Have a great evening, and thanks for doing the net. N6CZE.
All right, sir. We'll look forward to getting next week. It's good you're coming in here routinely, and nice to put your call sign in the logbook there. I always like to have folks out there on the West Coast. And it may be a little inconvenient the way we started up, but like I was explaining there, it's one of those things that if we don't start early, sometimes when we have 30, 35 check-ins, it's pushing midnight sometimes when we're out here getting those emails out. So, and I'm like Jeff, I gotta get up going again in the morning. So, appreciate you being considerate with us starting a little bit early, and we try to do that, try to get some early check-ins if that works out. Excuse me. Let's go to K9MIT up there in Kokomo, and I'm sure you're experiencing about the same thing I am down here in Newcastle. Chip, how are you doing this evening? I bet Chip is rebooting his computer. He'll be back with us later. Let me pass it over to Mr. Allen there in the land down under, and give some folks an opportunity to check in there with an Australia station. VK5 PBZ, Allen, if you want to get some check-ins, I'll run your log for you.
Okay, thanks very much there, Jake. Good evening to the stations have already checked in. Operator here is Victor Kilo 4 Papa Bravo Zulu. My name is Alan. My location is Tumby Bay, and I'm on the west coast of our capital city of Adelaide, South Australia, down under. When stations check in, could you please check in with Fanatics and slowly any station wish to check into the Ham Nation D-Star show net, so go ahead.
November 0, Bravo Foxtrot.
Whiskey Delta 5, Uniform Sierra Alpha.
Alpha Delta 5, India Juliet.
N0WIQ.
Thank you to those stations for checking in for Fanatics. First station I have, November 0, Bravo Fox. Very good evening to you there, Steve. Thanks for checking in. Go ahead.
This is N0BF. Good evening, Alan. Thanks for being in net control here tonight. And it's kind of fun to listen to the check-ins. Also, it's kind of interesting watching the show tonight. I kind of enjoyed watching the old-timey tube equipment, as well as there's a solid-state power supply on there right now. Kind of fun to watch the different projects that they're working on Ham Nation. Anyway, thanks for running the net, and boy, it's a beautiful evening here in Colorado tonight. Kind of a glow of the sunset out there. Anyway, have a nice day there down under, and thanks again, Alan. This is Steve in Loveland, Colorado, N0BF, back to net.
Thanks for checking in, Steve, and if you talk to any station in Colorado over there, give them my FS73s there. Know quite a few stations there. Also, g'day to all of them there for me there, Steve. Next station I have, Whiskey Delta 5, Uniform Sierra Alpha. Very good evening to you, Mike. Thanks for checking in. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Alan, and I hope you're doing well. I'm recovering nicely from my amputation of my big toe, and I'm up and walking around and getting good to it. Great show tonight. One of the best ones they've had in a long time. Good to see Bob back on the air, and see, don't talk about the weather. Okay, we won't talk about the good weather we've been having here in Oklahoma. And certainly enjoying the show, and got the Sharp RF open spot in the mail today, and I'll be playing with that this weekend and see if I can get it going. That's all I've got. You have a great day. WD5 USA.
Thanks for checking in there, Mike. And how do you find your balance without your big toe there, Mike? Go ahead.
Alan, so far, so good. I'm walking unassisted, so no problem so far. Of course, I got lots of bandage on it to kind of take the place of the big toe right now. I go see my podiatrist tomorrow, and we'll see what he says, and I know a lot more then.
Okay, then, Mike. I'm sorry to hear about the amputation there. I hope your foot gets better real quick there, again. Thanks for checking in, and your audio is amazing there, Mike. Next station, I have Alpha Delta 5, India Juliet. A very good evening to you. Go ahead.
Hello, this is 85IJ, and the name here is Howard, and my QTH is Eugene, Oregon, and we have wonderful weather for a change, so don't say anything more. I'm new to D-Star. I've just been up and running for a couple of weeks. I have a DV Mega dual band hooked up to a Raspberry Pi, and I'm using a Kenwood D74, so this is the first time I've participated on this net, so I'm glad I found it, and I look forward to learning more. So, Alan, I'll turn it back to you and the net, and hope you have a good day down there. And anyway, this is 85IJ.
Okay, thanks very much there, Howard. Nice talking to you for the first time. Welcome to the show there. And if you go to Jeff's Kilo 8 Julia Tango Kilo, and go to his website there that he's got up and running for us there, you'll get a lot more information on D-Star there. An excellent site there, Howard. I would rate it as one of the. I would put it on the first 5 stars there. The first lot of the 5 stars there, or should it be the 5-star rating there? Anyhow, we'll say it's a 5-star rating website there, Howard, and welcome to the show. And D-Star there. Next station I have, November 0, Whiskey India Quebec. Very good evening to you. Go ahead. November 0, Whiskey India Quebec. Do you have any comments for tonight's show so far? Go ahead. Okay, no response from that call sign. We'll put it on the waiting list, and we'll come back and give you another call there. Any other stations that wish to check into the Ham Nation D-Star after showing that, go ahead. Any other station that wish to check into the ham nation D-Star after show next, so go ahead.
This is Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Charlie Foxtrot.
Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Charlie Foxtrot. Very good evening. Do you have any comments on tonight's show so far? Go ahead.
Good evening, Alan, and this is KC3FCF. The name is Mike. I'm actually checking in from a hotel room, a little bit, about 5.5 hours south of where my QTH is in Erie, Pennsylvania, but I'm checking in from a hotel in Charleston, West Virginia, and I did not get a chance to see the show, so I'll have to do the playback here tomorrow or later in the week whenever it gets posted. So I'll have to check it out. Sounds like a good show. I always like watching the project boards and seeing what they're putting together each week, and really enjoy the show. So I will say 73s for now, and thanks for doing the net, and have a great one. This is KC3 FCF, sending it back to you.
My pleasure to be here, Mike, to take your call signs and your check-ins there. I look forward to it there. I wasn't able to do it last week there. Visitors knocked on my door just about 10 to 15 minutes before the next to go to air. And I couldn't sort of be rude and sort of drop them and take the net in. And yeah, another 3 weeks' time, I'll possibly be taking the net from a hotel room also there. Me and my wife, we're going to travel for 2.5 weeks there. Thanks for checking in, Mike. Any other station I wish to check in, go ahead. Any station I wish to check into the Ham Nation D-Star after show next, so go ahead. Okay, no response. Thanks to the stations that have checked in with me there for checking in with Fanatics and Slowly. And maybe, I don't know if Dayton has been sort of has been and gone there, but maybe somebody would be able to tell me if the IP 51 plus 2 has been released, and also the ICOM IC 4100 there. So again, thanks to the stations that have checked in. I'll put it back to Dave. He can give you the information, some information about the net, and he can pass it across to the next operator there. Kilo Bravo 9, Victor Zulu uniform. Again, good evening, Dave. Go ahead.
All right, Al. We appreciate you grabbing those check-ins. Got you a good clean log going here, and I'll get that email going. We finish up here, and I'll shoot that off to you so we can let you keep track of who all checked in as well. I appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon there and spending a little bit of it with us. We appreciate that. Some of the guys, like tonight, they like checking in with stations in far-off lands, and you're about as far away as you can get from us. So thanks for being there each week, Al. Appreciate you. KB9VZU here, Dave in Newcastle again, taking check-ins for this edition of the Ham Nation D-Star After Show now. If you'd like to put your call in the logbook, please call now. KBI VZU, standing by.
N0WIQ.
N0WIQ, I got a quick key there from you. Alan tried to return your call there, must have had a connectability problem or something, but N0WIQ, go ahead with any comments you have.
Well, good evening to the net. This is N0WIQ, and I don't have a whole lot to say except I'm working on my third Raspberry Pi hotspot. I'm waiting for parts right now, so back to net. N0WIQ.
All right, we appreciate you taking time to check in with us there, and we look forward to hearing from you each week. And get that call sign up there on the WikiLeaks page for this edition of the Ham Nation D-Star After Show Net. Also, if you haven't had a chance, check out hamnationdStar.net. HamnationdStar.net. Jeff's put in a lot of time to make sure that website's updated for everybody's use and enjoyment. It helps us get to the D-Star information a little bit easier, and it's going to have all the information here about the 300 episode too, so make sure you check that out. All right, that brings us down to the bottom of the list here. KBI VZU, Dave in Newcastle, Indiana, taking check-ins for this edition of the Ham Nation D-Star After Show Net. If you'd like to put your call sign in our logbook, give me a shout. KBI VZU, standing by.
K9PTF.
All right, we'll recognize K9PTF there. Looks like he's on a DD4 Mini. How are you doing this evening? Any comments about the show or anything D-Star related? Go ahead.
Well, I haven't, this K9 PTF Paul in Chelsea, Alabama, I haven't really been able to watch the show. I'm going to have to catch it tomorrow and download it. I know that helps on the count anyway. Can't talk about the weather, so don't have a whole lot to say. I think, I'm just wondering, has anybody thought about using D-Rats as a check-in also for the Ham Nation show?
Yeah, we've been barred from talking about the weather. I'm looking forward to be able to check in there from Dallas and see check on him, make sure he's doing all right. I've been worried about him this week. You know, they had some awful storms come through there close to him, so I hope he'll check in here with us this evening so we can kind of get a load in. But good to hear you in there, and we'll look for you next week too. And if you haven't checked out Jeff's webpage, hamnationdStar.net, he's got a good thing going there for us, so make sure to check that out. All right, anybody else wanting to check into this edition of the Ham Nation D-Star After Show Net, please call now. KB9 VZU, standing by.
N3ZKV. K9ATX.
All right, I'll take those two stations in order. We had N3ZKV and K9ATX. First station, N3ZKE. What's your location? And call sign does look familiar. Is this your first time checking in with us here?
Good evening, one and all. N3ZKV, George, out of Rankin, Georgia. And yes, that was a former Pennsylvania call sign, which I retained when I retired and moved down here to Georgia. So, first time into the net. Look forward to catching Ham Nation. I haven't listened to it yet, but we will definitely check it out. Thanks for the comeback, N3ZKV. Have a good evening, and back to net.
Very well, sir. We appreciate you taking time out of your evening to check in with us here, and make sure to check out that webpage, hamnationdStar.net. I was on there just the other night, and there's a speed link to ICOM, and I found out they're giving away 2 free tickets, airfare, and everything to the Tokyo Hamvention. I don't know if the after rally or not, but I think they're going to give those away in June or July. But they're giving away also a 7300 too. So all the speed links are there on the sponsor site where you can go to their sites and sign up for stuff. George's Tech Question, you can catch that there off that web page. Speed links to hook up to the Twit Network to watch the show. So HamNationDStar.net is probably going to be what you need, and we're proud you checked in with us here this evening. So we'll look for you next week too. All right, let's run over to K9AXT, see what he's got going on, and any comments he might have about the show or anything D-Star related. Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody on the net from K9ATX near Milwaukee. I just got home from work, so I can't watch the show directly, which is fine. So we'll catch it on the reruns here. I just got done with last week's on Tuesday, so we kind of watch it in segments as time permits on here. One thing I just like to throw out there, maybe we could get Amanda or George to be net control every so often for a little while. I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, would like to, make direct contact with them, at least in the net control position, which would be kind of nice. I'm sure they have a lot of followers. You'd like to kind of get the one-on-one cue, so that's just food for thought. Other than that, that's about it from up here in Milwaukee. It's finally stopped raining up here, so hopefully the sun's coming out and we'll be drying out later in the week. Back to that from K9ATX.
All right, sir, and fine comments there from Milwaukee, and we totally understand what you're coming from there with wanting to talk to those folks. And some good news there for you. This Ham Nation 300 episode, I think both those stations are going to be checking in on some D-Star reflectors, just popping in and putting their call out there. So if you go to the D-Star last herd, you're probably going to see them, and you'll be able to go right to where they're at. I would look and kind of expect them to be on 14 Charlie, but I'm going to defer that to our tech coordinator there in Ohio. But that would be my best. I know those guys are busy. George told me one time that they may only see them on the show for maybe a half hour, 40 minutes, but it takes hours to get that thing ready to go. So, to have them quit actually do the net control may be a little far off, but I bet you'll be able to get them on this 300 episode special event we got going. But let me throw it over to Jeff and see if he's got any comments, and let him run through his announcements, and we'll address that a little bit further. Hey, JTK, I've got a good lot going. If you want to take check-ins or whatever you want to do, go ahead. Take the reflector.
All right, sounds good. I was trying to get in with Steve on the 20 meter net, but he has a bunch of check-ins, so that's also good. I will go through some of the locations for the other after show nets, and encourage everyone to get checked in with them as well and show your support for the other nets. As I mentioned, 20 meters. Steve is taking check-ins. He's on 14,268, 14268. Kevin said he was moving the net frequency down a little bit, and he's on 7181. That's 7181, about 12 off from where they usually are. So again, 7181 for 40 meters. Was messaging Andrew, the DMR net, they wrapped up for this evening, but next week you can catch them on TAC 311, otherwise known as Talk Group 311. Echolink, start due drop in. Note number 355800 there. And of course, as Ham Nation is recording live on Wednesday evenings, if you're not near internet connection or you're traveling, something like that, you can tune them in on shortwave, WTWW 5085. Again, 5085 shortwave. Break. This is the Ham Nation D-Star After Show Net on Reflector 14 Charlie. Our website is hamnationdStar.net, where we have everything you might want to know about the show, how to watch it, where to catch it, how to get in the chat room, watch live, all that kind of good stuff. And we have some D-Star information and a live stream of 14 Charlie. available 24/7. Again, HamNationDStar.net is our website. Anyone at all wishing to check into the net, please call KJTK now.
UA LIV, Cleveland, Ohio.
Alright, we picked up one of the net controllers from the DMR net, Andrew, W8LIV. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Jeff? You checked in on that, so I figured I'd stop by here. Looking forward to Ham Nation 300 in a couple of weeks, and I want to invite everyone on the 14 Charlie. Feel free to stop by on Pack 311. We operate the net. Hey, D-Star loves DMR and vice versa. We're a fan. Anyways, yeah, and I look forward to this little contest coming up. Craig and I, the DMR special event stations, and I'll tweet at Ham Nation. And if anyone has P25, I'm gonna try my hardest to stop by on some of those reflectors and try and pick up P25. And I think Gordo is gonna jump on Fusion. So hopefully we have, digital web well represented between all of us. So I'll turn it back to you, Jeff. Good to hear you on both nets. 73 WA8LIV.
Alright, perfect. And yeah, I might try and jump over on some of the Fusion reflectors as well, but I didn't mention in those announcements, as Andrew pointed out, that Ham Nation 300 is coming up. Dayton's in a couple weeks. The Ham Nation 300 special events are going to be happening the week following Dayton. It's going to be the Wednesday following the show and then run for about a week. And like you said, all the digital modes are going to be represented, and I'm going to try and do some JT65 and get some HF digital contacts, all kinds of good stuff going on. And a lot of the details, again, are up on our website, HamNationDStar.net, right on the front page. Click Ham Nation 300. Thanks, Andrew, for checking in, and appreciate you supporting our net over here as well. Anyone else for the Ham Nation D-Star After Show net, please call now.
In 8QQ.
Alright, we picked up a recheck from Chip, K9MIT. Hopefully you got your internet issues figured out there. We got you first on the list, and we got Brad in 8QQ from Cincinnati. Good evening to you. First up is Chip, K9MIT.
Yeah, Jeff, K to JTK, K9MIT. I just wanted to check in officially, if you will. I checked in early to ask Dave and a question, and Andy, K's, I forget his call, came back to me and tried to help me out, but that didn't work. And what did work was clearing the cache completely on my browser. So that never happened before to me. I could not check into the chat room at all from the Twit webpage. So didn't know what was going on, figured it out, finally got it to work, and thanks to all. Thank you to Andy if he's still listening here. Hello to Dave, and hello to all the net members, and I'll turn it back to you, Jeff. Thanks very much. KJTK, Net Control, K9MIT.
Yeah, very good. We got you in officially. Dave put you down at the beginning of the net as an early check-in, so I know he came back to you, but you might have been figuring things out. And yeah, that's a good tip is if you're having issues with a web page or something like that. If you use like Firefox or Chrome, try opening up the web page in either incognito or private mode, and that's basically separate from your stored internet cache, and nothing is saved and everything like that. So if you open up that window and it still doesn't work in there, then you know there's something else going on. But usually if I can't get to a website, I'll jump over to incognito or private mode and see if the same thing happens there. And usually, like you said, if you put out the internet cache, it's 9.5 times out of 10 will fix your issue there. So, but you got it working, Chip. And if anyone else wants to get in the chat room, the show is still going on. HamNationBstar.net. Brad is up. Any QQ.
Well, good evening, Jeff, and everybody else along the net. It is Brad here in Cincinnati, and yeah, as usual, I probably won't catch the show until this weekend, either on YouTube or possibly the Roku Twitch channel, or the Twitch channel on Roku. I always like to use that every once in a while. But yeah, I thought TAC 311 seemed kind of quiet there. I was going to check in there too. It looks like they got wrapped up pretty early. So, oh well, I will try and hit that one next week too. But so I'd say good evening to you and everybody on the net. Back to net for a minute. QQ.
W8LIV related.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, no, Andrew got the net wrapped up, so that's probably why it's a little quiet over there. But we can let Andrew jump in here and fill you in. W8LIV to take it.
Hey, yeah, we closed it up a little bit early. I think we did 5 rounds of check-ins, and with the show running a little bit late tonight, which is fine. I think people were still watching, and we didn't want to tie up the talk group, so Craig and I went back and forth. We keep a chat open between the two of us, like, well, what should we do? So we made the decision to close it down a little bit early. Yeah, we'll see. I know I've been talking with Jeff about other strategies that we might want to use, but Brad, we'll get you in there next week. W8LIV, back to that.
All right, very good. And yeah, as I mentioned, the show is still going on, and they were talking to the net controllers still, and they probably have the chat room segment after that. So seems like they got started late, and it seems like it's going to be a long show this evening. So I'm feeling that might throw off some of the nets, but nonetheless, Brad, we got you in for the D-Star net, and we'll be jumping with those guys over on DMR next week there. Alright, we are at the bottom of the list. This is the Ham Nation D-Star After Show Net on Reflector 14 Charlie. We're looking for anyone at all wishing to check in. Please call now. Alright, nothing heard that time. Do we have any stations that have any additional comments or anything additional for the net, as we're kind of hitting a low point, but the show's still going on? Please call KJTK now. Hey Dave, did you say that there's a station looking for some information about the show? I thought I was kind of listening with one ear. Keep an eye on KJTK.
We had K9ATX. He had some comments. He was wishing to speak with Commander George or some of those guys. Have a QSO with them. And I was just letting him know that probably the best chance to make that happen would probably be on this 300 episode special there. And I just threw it over to you to see if you had anything further to add to that. But I'll let him know about the website. We can get in there and see about that. I guess I had a question for you, Jeff. Are we going to mostly just use reflector 14 Charlie, or are you planning on hopping around, or what do you want to do for this?
Yeah, I'll address those in order. Sometimes Amanda will jump on here and check into the net, so you might be able to catch her. But being at the end of the show, she typically doesn't get in until pretty late, and she's on the stream now, so she probably won't be in here if at all for a while yet. If he really wants to get in contact with them, yeah, either try to work them over the 300th, or just shoot them an email. That's probably the best way to get in contact with them. I know she's pretty busy, as this time of year is graduation and stuff like that, and she's quite busy. So I'd shoot her an email if you really want to get in contact with her. Break. And Dave, my thought was to use 14 Charlie. I had emailed Kent a couple times just to see if he was okay with that, and I've not heard back from him officially, so I might try one more time, but pretty much wherever you think we should go, and I think 14 Charlie would be where everybody knows that we normally are, so I might want to try that one in the evenings, or try this reflector in the evenings, I guess I should say.
Alright, sounds like a plan. And I picked up a new item on for my app store. It's RF Finder, or rfinder.net. Are you familiar with that service?
Yes, I am. I use I have a subscription to RFinder, and I also use Repeater Book, as in like Repeater Directory, but it's just Repeater Book, BOOK. And between those two websites, those are kind of my go-tos. And the mobile apps for RFinder is quite nice. One of the features I liked was that you could pull up a map as you're traveling, say like you're in the passenger in the van or something like that, and you can pull up, and it gives you like little antenna towers where there are cities that have repeaters, so you can punch them in real quick as you're driving along some highway and try and stir up some QSOs on a local repeater. So yeah, I've used that, and I also recommend Repeater Book. That is usually more accurate than some of the other services.
Alright, well I just got mine this weekend. I've been playing around with it, and I called and talked to their programmer this morning. Real nice guy. And Bob, the guy that actually started RFinder, he's going to be over at Dayton, so I told him I'd look him out there. He'll probably be close to where you are there with the ARRL stuff, because I think he's affiliated with the ARRL and how they used to have that service for. They're still going to do the repeater directory, but I guess they're using his app and his data there to they're affiliated. Oh, that was pretty cool. I don't think that's anything new. I think it's been going on for years, but I thought it was pretty cool. I'm just you know me, I'm old. I'm just not getting into the show at that.
Well, yeah, whatever. But I know I've actually talked about way back when he was just starting this thing, and noticed that whatever data he was using, which I guess he aggregates a bunch of sources, that a lot of the information on repeaters in the Cleveland area was just old. I mean, really old. So I had basically dumped my data that I have on repeaters and gave it to him, and he basically loaded it straight out and put it into there. But that was a while ago, and I know that he's partnered with a lot of organizations. He has them listed on his website with not only the ARRL, but he partners with over in Europe and stuff like that too. So he's grown that application quite a lot, and I throw him a subscription to support them and what they're doing, because I enjoy it. I also, when I was traveling, if you remember back in January, I kind of reviewed a bunch of the sites that have repeater information and apps and stuff like that. I think it's on my website, but I think it's the January edition of the technical coordinator. Like I kind of review and talk about the different ones and pros and cons to them. But yeah, between RFinder and Repeater Book, I think those are two good sources. Repeater Book is kind of crowdsourced. Basically, people submit changes to them, and usually it's the more accurate because people kind of keep up on it a little bit. But look at my website for I think it's the January edition of my article.
Okay, and also to confirm, next week you're going to be on the show, so you probably will be doing net news, correct?
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is yet. I know today, they're just wrapping up the show now. I think they just finished it. I have it muted in the background, but so I'm not sure what the schedule's going to be and anything like that. So I would just assume more or less I will not be available for the net next week, but I'll jump in when I am.
Okay, that'll work, but I will give Alan a heads up and let him know if he can at all give us next Wednesday. It's probably going to be very helpful. And that'd be kind of cool if we could maybe get your radio in the background there talking to a guy in Australia. That'd be kind of neat. You know how it works. It never works how you have it planned, so don't plan too much. But thanks for doing that for us. We'll check with Alan. Alan, do you have any plans next week? BK5 PBZ, do you think you're going to be able to help us with that over?
No, at this stage, Dave, I've got no plans for next week. I know I will be about, so Dave, go ahead.
All right, we'll just plan on that then, and I think Jeff's going to represent us there on the show for the D-Star portion, and we appreciate him doing that. You know, I'll take care of this. That'll be one less thing he's going to worry about. So it sounds like a plan. Does anybody else have any other comments here before we get it wrapped up? Put the bows on. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and there being no further business for the net, we'll close this session of the Ham Nation D-Star After Show. Please join us again next Wednesday evening on or about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The same reflector, 14 Charlie. On behalf of BK5 PBZ, Alan in Palm Bay, Australia, Jeff in Westlake, Ohio, JTK, and myself, KB9VZU, I want to thank all the owners and operators, everyone that contributes to the net each week with their comments and checking in. I'd like everyone for doing that. Look for everybody next week, and we'll give you all a heads up that Jeff's going to be on the show, so you guys can tune in there and look for Jeff representing us well on the D-Star net. So again, thanks for doing that, Jeff. Then I'm going to wish everyone a 7-3, and I'm going to go ahead and turn in. So Alan, good to have you back, to have you talk with us. I'll maybe shoot you an extra email this week whenever I get involved. So everyone take care of yourselves, and we'll all get together next week. KB9VZU against them.
HB9FUI.
8.
HB9FUI, I believe it was.
Yes, hello. My name is Pascal, HB9FUI from and
We got the first part of that fine, but then you dropped out. Try it one more time.
Okay, HB9FUI, my name is Pascal from...
Well, you're making the machine just fine. We're getting the first couple syllables, maybe the first couple of words, and we loosen the audio. But you've got a good signal. It must be right on the verge of the machine you're using or your connection.
Okay, is that the connection?
I got the first word, and then we went to R2D2. One more time.
I've seen your transmission, but I didn't hear anything. Go ahead.
All right, we got everything that time. Go ahead with your comments, sir, and I've got your call sign in the logbook for this edition of the Ham Nation D-Star Average Show Net. I can't hear you this time. Can you give me your handle and your location, please?
That's okay now. I can hear you. It's very nice. Yeah. Just told you my name is Pascal. I called from Geneva, Switzerland. I've just watched Ham Nation. It just finished 5 minutes ago. Go ahead.
All right, and we'll put the welcome mat out for you here on Reflector 14 Charlie. We get started about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's usually about the time the show's about halfway through. And we're always here on 14 Charlie for the D-Star portion. And more than welcome to check out our webpage for the net, hamnationdStar.net. hamnationdStar.net. We'll have all the quick links there for you to go anywhere you want to go in reference to Ham Nation or pretty much D-Star related information. We'll also put your call sign in the wiki page for Ham Nation as well. So any other comments for us this evening?
No, it was very interesting as usual. When I can watch live, when it's possible, I watch them live, and I love this podcast. This evening was very interesting, and with Mike Ferreira and the Owl from the East Coast. The first time I've seen them, and it's very cool. I cannot listen them HF because it's too far away. And the signal is not very good, but I can catch the HF signal of the D-Star net with SDR from the West Coast in California. Okay, wish you 73. Thank you for recording my QSL, and wish you the best for the next week. This is HB9FUI. Go ahead.
All right, and listen, we really appreciate you taking time to check in with us there and watching the show on the Twit network there. A lot of good perks coming up here in the next couple, 3 weeks. We're going to have the 300th episode special event, and keep tuning here to 14 Charlie. If you go to the webpage, it'll give you the details on the special event and how to get certificates and things of that nature. I certainly appreciate you taking time to check in with us, and I've got your call sign in the book, and I'll pass that along for the wiki page, okay?
Okay, no problem. I try to be there. It will be very pleasure to have to watch the 300 episodes. That's very something. I'm just watching the 2013 episodes one by one, but I try to watch the new and the online show. But that's not very easy because it's 3 o'clock in the morning in Switzerland. Yeah, you know. Okay, 73. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.
73, sir, it's a pleasure talking to you and getting you affiliated with the net here. We'll look for you next week, so take care of yourself and have a safe week. 73.
Thank you, 73. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.